I finally found the one place in Oregon that isn't on fire. Well, I made it to Oregon, and I'm on my way to Washington State, just passing through Oregon. And I gotta say, the whole fucking, the whole West is covered in a smoky haze. From Wyoming to Utah, just constant smoky haze. And I feel like it's fucking with my lungs a bit, and it's unhealthy as shit. But you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know about the smoky haze if you watch the media or anything, because they're too busy talking about whether or not Trump's on a fucking green screen. So the craziness has continued, and it's got me thinking. I've been mulling things over on what to do, because I don't think that the election's going to stop this nonsense. No matter how it turns out, by the way, one way or another. I think either way, we're fucked. And I come to that conclusion based solely on just how fucked up people are right now. I mean, all over the place. I'm not saying everybody, but a good portion of the population, it seems, is completely ignorant of everything. Like everything. Like, completely just... and it's frustrating because there's nothing that can be done at this point. It's one of those, you know, it's too late. We've passed the point of no return type situations. The people that are fucked up right now, that are buying into the mainstream narratives, that are completely just, you know, living in fear, giving their freedoms up, you can't reach them. That ship has sailed. Nothing that you can show. And you want to know how I came to this conclusion is I watched the reaction to the president getting COVID. Now, on one hand, there are people that reacted the correct way when they saw that this 80-year-old, overweight, maybe even obese individual who's elderly, fully recovered, you know, didn't get any real illness to say, and then came out and said, hey, it's not as bad as they make it out to be. And from what I've seen out here, there are some people that, you know, the mask compliance immediately started to drop. Less people are worried about it. I've been saying this from the beginning, but apparently we have to wait and see, and someone like Trump and a bunch of other people get sick with no consequences. When you look at Kayleigh McEnany, or whatever the fuck her name is, I can't ever get her last name right. She has no symptoms whatsoever. You know, it pretty much coincides with the statistics for hospitalization and death. Yet, we still are pushing the fucking case numbers as a narrative. And and the other thing that's pushing me over the edge is I still get people, and I'm going to call one of yous out that commented, so let me do that. So when I mentioned that, you know, YouTube was fucking with me, and we're going to get to that too, a little bit. I got one of this comment. Well, first somebody told me the length of my videos, which we've had that debate before, and I will go so far as to say that there's tools to watch my videos. You can watch them at double speed. You can watch them in 15-minute chunks. I don't publish every day. Sometimes I go 3-4 days in between videos. Plenty of time to consume an hour-long video, you know, which is generally where I end up at, is about an hour. Unless I'm really going off the rails. But underneath that comment, someone else wrote, it's not the length, but the content of the videos. I love Scott's old keto videos, but his position in voicing about the pandemic is downright selfish and inhumane. So, thanks for virtue signaling like a motherfucker. But what about all the people that are starving? I actually did a rebuttal comment. But what about all the people that are suffering because their businesses are closed? I just watched a really heartbreaking video on Odysee, because you don't get to see like shit like this on YouTube. In fact, I believe I watched it on someone's channel on Odysee who is currently going through a 1-week ban on YouTube. But showed a video of a guy wanting to visit his mother in a nursing home. And she was so sad and just tapping on the glass and showing the picture of the family. And, you know, when you're in a nursing home, which is a hellhole, it's like a concentration camp for old people. And I knew that she would give no shits about the virus if she could just spend time with her son. You could see it in her face. It was heartbreaking. Yet I'm selfish. Yet I'm inhumane. Forcing people to be dehumanized with masks. You can go on like cringe channels and watch, because everyone's filming everybody nowadays. And you can see how people are treating each other because of this mask ideology. If you don't wear the mask, people will attack you. You know, if you do wear the mask and someone who doesn't wear the mask comes in, think of the division and the dehumanization there, since I'm being so inhumane. It's inhumane to remove someone's identity, to remove that communication, that nonverbal communication that usually results in pleasant personal interactions between people. People are downright hostile, and social anxiety and depression are out of control. 600% increase in suicide rates. And I'm inhumane. You know, you've got Cuomo persecuting the Orthodox Jewish community by threatening to shut down their churches and them responding by burning their masks. Are they all being inhumane? You've got 70,000 college students that tested positive for the virus throughout this country. 3 of them were hospitalized, and 0 have died. But I'm inconsiderate, and I'm inhumane. As we ride our economies into the ground, thousands are losing their jobs in the airline industry. Disney's laying off 30,000 plus motherfuckers. Restaurants throughout the lockdown states are going out of business and never returning. Yet, I'm inhumane. Food bank lines are projecting that they're going to run out of food this holiday season because of the skyrocket in demand for food. For a virus that nearly everyone, including old, obese, McDonald-eating motherfuckers like Trump, are surviving. Yet people can't buy food. 'Cause I'm inhumane. You see, virtue signaling's not that hard. This is the flaw of tribalistic nature. You can come out one way or another, for or against something, and somebody will think that you're the bad guy. My channel has been about helping people this whole time. You used to like it, apparently. But because you are buying into this mainstream narrative, which gives 0 shits, you want to talk about inhumanity. Look at what the mainstream media has done to our country. Riots in the streets, looting, people killing each other, all in the name of the ideologies being pushed by the mainstream media. Yet I'm inhumane. It's ridiculous. And you, with that comment, are part of the problem. I'm coming down hard on you because it needs to be said. If you're around browbeating everyone around you with some moral superiority, with a general blinders put on to any evidence to the contrary, you're part of the problem, not me. I'm trying to say, look, can we just go back to the 2019? 2019 was a shitty year. I'll take it. We can go back anytime. Because we weren't nearly as divided as we are right now. We weren't nearly as destructive to the economy as we are now. And I don't agree with everything in the economy. But I don't want to see people's lives destroyed the way they have been destroyed by COVID fear, pushed by the mainstream media and censored by the tech giants. I don't even know if this video will make it onto YouTube. If it doesn't, you'll know where to find me. And the virtue signaling has to stop. Because you wear your mask, which is every bit your right to do, does not make you morally superior to somebody who does not agree with your opinion, which is not based on facts, because there's no facts to be had anymore. Everything has been manipulated to manipulate the American people and the people of the world, frankly, because this is a worldwide issue, not just the United States. I haven't lost sight of that. And when you see what some of the governments around the country have taken advantage of this to have huge tyrannical grasps of power, and to see it spread throughout the United States, that while I'm driving throughout the country, I feel like sometimes I'm driving into a third world socialist country. And maybe that's what you want, but it ain't what I want. Whenever I cross into the left coast, I can tell you I'm miserable here. Because of all the bureaucracy, all the rules, and the general mentality of people, it seems. Which is a lot like your comment. Now, I don't normally let one comment get to me very often. Sometimes it happens. But you just happened to catch me on a day where I was feeling a little bit fed up with all of this shit. Like a little extra. So, you know, I don't want to single you out, but I do know that you're not alone in that opinion, and it's evident throughout social media. A lot of my acquaintances in New York share the same view of me right now. So if you're watching and that's your view of me, this applies to you as well. Now, is that the reason my channel is not succeeding? No. I've been sitting stagnant long before COVID because I talk about keto and health. And I don't know if you've noticed lately, but keto is even being demonized. Because we straight up just had fucking somebody die, I believe it was in Bollywood in India, of kidney failure. And the press, without any evidence whatsoever, stated that kidney failure due to the ketogenic diet, is the cause of death, while presenting no evidence to prove that. Yet the media will take it and run with it, as they have been throughout this entire health journey in the videos you used to like. Now all of a sudden, they haven't forgotten us. The food industry isn't forgetting us. The pharmaceutical industry hasn't forgotten us. You're going to continue to see headlines on why keto is bad for you, why fasting is bad for you, all because it hurts some corporate motherfucker or some pharmaceutical motherfucker's bottom line. And if that isn't proof enough for you of the corruption of the media that you're buying into with this mask horse shit, and these governors who are way overstepping their constitutional authority based on something that isn't killing us anymore, and arguably didn't kill us to begin with, as most of the people that have died of COVID died of other conditions. People die. You know, we're all gonna fucking die. It's a fact. It's unavoidable. It's unpreventable. You don't know where. You don't know when. You don't know how. The only variable is how you choose to spend your time on this earth. And that's important to consider. And I don't want to spend my time on this earth in a fucking mask, socially distanced from all of my fellow human beings, some of whom I like to be around, with anxiety about walking into a shop or into a restaurant, if it's even fucking open. Can't ever go to a fucking concert again. Movie theaters are out, which, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of what Hollywood's been putting out, but I was always a theater goer back in the day before Hollywood got all woke up. You know, because I don't want to see politics and fucking virtue signaling in my TV shows either, or in my entertainment. It's permeating games as well. You know, Dungeons and Dragons is now, you know, I grew up on that. Now it's racist. Imagine that. So, you know, I've been thinking a lot about where do I go from here, you know? I know my days on YouTube are probably numbered for free speech because I'm not holding back. I haven't been holding back on these videos. And ironically, even though I did get fucked with a little bit, you know, they gave me the yellow icon till all the views came in, you know, one of those deals. And then I got the green icon. I'm like, the fuck, all right? Which is it? Am I advertiser friendly or am I not advertiser friendly? But I've noticed a decline in viewership of any subject I cover. My adventure videos have always been shitty as far as views. But a lot of you are used to now you don't know what you're going to get when I put out a video. You don't know if you're going to get a vlog, you don't know if you're going to get adventure, you don't know if you're going to get me talking shit. And I think I need to work on that a little bit. So this is kind of, I'm going to shift focus on YouTube to more vloggy shit, to more what's going on in my life, my direct observations, and how I'm feeling about things. Kind of like this video. The only reason I'm talking about this is because the comment affected me. And not just the comment, but it was like the cherry on the cake of shit we've been eating since February, pretty much. And as we get closer and closer to the election, it's part of me hopes I'm wrong and that things do improve after it's all fucking finalized. But I think people have just gone too far off the rails at this point. The media is off the rails and lying their ass off the whole way. Members of Congress have lost their fucking minds. I mean, this has become, the United States has become a literal insane asylum. So I don't know what we do from here, I mean, and that's what I'm struggling with. There's part of me that over the past week or so has been like, I should just withdraw from society and become a full-time nomad, and not make more than $12,000 a year, which will take me out of contributing to all of this madness, which is just enough to eat, pretty much. And not necessarily eat healthy, given the way the prices are going. I mean, I've thought about it. I've thought about, because I'm supporting this financially with my work. That's what a lot of people don't get. They're printing all that money and you're like, oh, somebody's paying for all this, and I'm one of them right now by driving this truck. Not to mention I'm supporting logistically. I'm about to deliver a load to the left coast. I'm not going into the real problem areas. I already turned that load down. But, I'm still supporting the governments, the local governments that they don't believe in the America, I served in the military to defend. They believe in a new America that is a shadow of what we used to be. And I'm not saying we're perfect. We're just as fucked up as every other country in my book. But there's more people suffering now than I've ever seen in my lifetime in the United States. On multiple levels. There's more homeless people. They're on the side of the road, out in the open, everywhere. Nobody's taking care of them. I've seen the homeless encampments with my own eyes. It's not just isolated. Up and down the West Coast, it seems. I've been places that are falling apart, infrastructure-wise. I see the suffering. I don't need the fucking media to tell me about it. I can come out here and see it for myself. And I see the division, the way people treat each other now. And it's getting bad. And I kind of don't like being a part of it, really. I like going out in the woods by myself, and I'm going to probably start liking that a lot more because of the way things are. Now, I've got some great friends, and thankfully they're still holding it together. But they're suffering too in my book. Some of them don't even know it. They don't even know why they're suffering. They're blaming, Orange Man or certain people of a political view when really the rules of their local governments are what's causing them to suffer. It always trips me out that people in New York are blaming Trump for everything when Cuomo is just raking them over the coals. Has been for years. Oh, I've always fucking hated Cuomo. Before COVID, I hated Cuomo. You know, I mean, people just need to wake the fuck up. I think if everybody just woke up and started worrying about their own yards, their own local governments, their own areas, and taking better care of them, you know, don't let lunatics into the fucking White House or into Congress or into your fucking mayor's office or into your fucking state government, then maybe, just maybe, we would pull out of this death spiral that we're in. You know, we're witnessing in real time the fall of the West. And I'm disillusioned with it right now. Now, maybe I'm way off. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, you know, the elections come off without a hitch. We find out who's going to be the boss for the next 4 years, and then we just deal with the normal fucking bullshit that we deal with every fucking presidential term. You know, I was unhappy during previous administrations, but it wasn't that bad overall. I'm hoping that this is like that. You know, no matter who wins, I hope we just go back to mediocre fucking getting shit done. Because when people get fucking a lot of fucking crap done and destroy things and upend things, it's usually not for the betterment of people that these policies get into place. It's usually at the detriment of us and at the betterment of corporations and industry. You know, and those of us here on the ground, we get left behind. So that's my thoughts. I might be way fucking off. As far as content goes, I am going to move some of my more topical rants and podcasts and stuff that aren't vlogs. I think I'm going to start doing those exclusively on Odysee. So if you're not following me on Odysee, you know, I kind of want to start doing some more exclusive content there just to see if it's just, maybe it is me, I suck, and if I can't grow on other platforms that aren't fucked with, then I'll believe you when you tell me that my YouTube channel is shit and it has nothing to do with Susan or the fucking algorithms. So I'm going to do some experimenting going forward and doing more exclusive content. If you want to stay informed about that content, sign up for my free email list at ScottTheTruckDriver.com, and I will be sending out emails whenever I post a exclusive video on Odysee or when I go on dlive. I haven't forgotten dlive. I'll be getting to that soon. And for here, I'm just going to do music, maybe the occasional bullshit live stream, maybe some vloggy shit, you know, in my adventures. Pretty much what I've been doing. Except I'm going to take my rants, you know, when I'm really angry or upset or triggered about something. I'm probably going to leave those as exclusives on Odysee. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This will probably be the last ranty, you know, political current events type video I do on YouTube. Because it's a minefield. You know, I'm seeing so many other creators get stomped, and I know it's just a matter of time, and I would hate to see 5 years of effort that I've put into YouTube get wiped out because I got pissed off and made a video someday. You know, something I should be free to do. So I'm going to do that shit on a platform that isn't going to do that to me, presumably. You know, you never know what a platform will do as it evolves. But for now, that's what my plan is for content. And I hope y'all, that for those of you who enjoy my opinions and my rants and my talking head shit, it'll be kind of, I'm gonna bring back some podcasty stuff where I look at some current event stuff or some things that are triggering me and talk about them, including within the health sphere, because that's not safe on YouTube either. That's why I haven't talked much about the whole kidney failure thing. But it's just another example of media out of control in my book. Not even in the United States. So, but keep in mind that A lot of these media corporations are multinational, including many of the ones that you're watching here in the United States, and have international interests at heart with their reporting as opposed to what's going on in your backyard. So there's that. Because how else can you explain this massive coordinated fucking lockdown shit? Just saying. If we were all that independent, we'd have seen a bunch of countries handling it in a bunch of different ways. But a lot of them fell in the line, except for Sweden. They did it right. Clearly not in the hands or in the pockets of whoever's running this shit. It's tinfoil hatty, I know. You know, prove me wrong. Alright. So that's it for this video. I'm not a fucking expert. Do your homework. Don't listen to the fucking media. Defund the media. Don't click them. Don't pay their advertisements. Filter your news through independent content creators who give you their opinion on top of the news, but at least you'll know what's going on. Don't have to agree or disagree with whoever that is. You know, just find who's most entertaining for you and filter your news through them. Trust me, you're not missing out when you do that, because I've done it both, and I got to tell you, it's somehow comforting to know that when the media is being stupid and untrustworthy, that I'm not helping pay their bills. So there's that. And the same's going to go for the government pretty soon. You know, I'm not going to be out here busting my ass for 70 hours a week if you all keep fucking up the country. Especially, you know, you've seen I want to get out of New York because I don't want to support his stupidity. And it's going to become a reality next year, as my residency will change. But I'm thinking a lot about it. And I'll keep you posted on, you know, I haven't made any long-term decisions in my life. I'm just kind of doing what I'm doing right now and hoping for the best. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now I got to go. I'm not going into Seattle, but I'll be close to it, which I'm not comfortable with. But yeah, I'm going into Washington. We'll see how it goes. I don't think I'm going to run into any wildfires. I miss clean air. I'll tell you, I'm missing clean air. And you want to know what else I'm missing? Rain. I will be so happy. Rain has not touched my truck in over a month. Like, I have not seen rain out west. So apparently climate change is real, I guess. I thought Greta took care of that, but she needs to get back to work, I guess. Save us from ourselves. Don't worry. I'm sure Biden's Green New Deal will fucking fix all of this shit. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit.